On my birthday, I got a video of my wife with her ex. My daughter said she wished he was her dad, so I filed for divorce and erased them both from my life. I'm 38, civil engineer. I build bridges for a living, the kind that carry thousands of people every day, the kind that have to hold up under serious pressure no matter what hits them. I thought I'd built a pretty solid life too. 13 years married to Natalie, a 12-year-old daughter named Bella, house in the suburbs with a two-car garage and a mortgage we were actually ahead on. Good schools, safe neighborhood, the whole suburban dream package. Turns out I didn't know jack about foundations. It was my birthday. Nothing fancy planned. Natalie said she'd make dinner at home, nothing special, just family time. Bella promised she'd actually sit at the table instead of disappearing into her room the second food hit plates. Small victories, right? I'd take what I could get at that point. She'd been distant lately, always on her phone, always had somewhere better to be than home. Typical 12-year-old stuff, I figured. Growing up, finding her independence. All that normal parent-kid stuff you tell yourself when you don't want to dig deeper. I was leaving the job site early that day, around 5:30. We'd been working on this overpass project for 6 months, and we were finally ahead of schedule for once. I remember feeling good, accomplished. Like maybe I was doing something right for once. I was thinking about how I'd survived another year of pretending I had my life figured out. 38 years old, steady job, steady marriage, steady everything. Steady and boring and safe. My phone buzzed at a red light. Unknown number, text message with a video link. No context, no explanation. Just a link. I almost deleted it. Spam, right? Some phishing attempt or random garbage. But something made me click it. Maybe curiosity. Maybe instinct. Maybe the universe was tired of me being blind to what was right in front of me. The video loaded. I recognized my bedroom immediately. The gray comforter Natalie picked out last year after she said our old one was too depressing. The decorative pillows I always knocked onto the floor because what's the point of pillows you can't actually sleep on? The framed photo of us from our wedding on the nightstand. The angle was from our dresser, like someone had propped a phone up there and hit record. Then I saw her, Natalie, in our bed, with a man I didn't recognize. My first thought wasn't anger. It was confusion. Like my brain couldn't process what my eyes were seeing. Because that wasn't my wife in our bed? That couldn't be my wife. My wife was at work. My wife was planning my birthday dinner. My wife wouldn't, but it was her. I should have stopped watching. Should have thrown the phone out the window, pulled over, done anything except keep staring at that screen. But I couldn't move. My hand was frozen. The video kept playing. They were finished. Sheets tangled around them. His arm around her shoulders. Both of them catching their breath in that post-everything haze. She was laughing at something he said. A real laugh. Not the polite chuckle she gave me anymore when I tried to be funny. Not the tired smile she'd perfected over the years. A real, genuine, happy laugh. She looked at him the way she used to look at me. Before the mortgage, before the routines, before we became two people sharing a house, instead of two people sharing a life. The bedroom door opened. Bella walked in. My 12-year-old daughter walked right into that room like it was the most natural thing in the world. She didn't gasp, didn't turn around and run, didn't look shocked or confused or uncomfortable. She looked happy. She walked straight over to the bed and hugged him. This stranger. This man in my bed with my wife. Bella wrapped her arms around his neck, and he kissed her forehead like he'd done it 1,000 times before. Like it was routine. Like this was normal. Then she said it. I wish you were my dad. 5 words. That's all it took to destroy 13 years of marriage and 12 years of fatherhood. The man, whoever the hell he was, smiled at her, stroked her hair, said something that made her laugh. Natalie didn't pull Bella away. Didn't tell her that was inappropriate. Didn't look uncomfortable or guilty. She just sat there, sheet pulled up to her chest, watching them interact like it was a Hallmark movie. Like this was the family she'd always wanted. The video ended. 37 seconds. That's how long it took to watch my entire life implode. I sat there at the green light. Cars honking behind me. Someone yelling. The light had probably cycled twice already. I didn't care. I watched the video again. Then again. And again. Looking for something that would make it make sense. An explanation. A joke. Some kind of context that would make this anything other than what it obviously was. There wasn't one. This wasn't new. This wasn't a one-time mistake. This wasn't Natalie making a bad decision and regretting it. My daughter knew this man. My daughter was comfortable enough to walk into a bedroom right after he'd been with my wife. My daughter wished he was her father. You don't say that to a stranger. You say that to someone who's been around. Someone who's been playing dad while the real dad is out building bridges for people who aren't his family. The thought started spiraling. How long? How many times had Bella gone to his house? How many times had Natalie told me they were at her mother's, at a friend's house, at soccer practice, at the mall, at literally anywhere else, while they were really playing house with this guy? How many family dinners had I sat through while they talked about their day, lying straight to my face? How many nights had I fallen asleep next to Natalie, thinking everything was fine while she was planning her exit strategy? How long had I been the idiot? My phone rang. Natalie's name on the screen. Calling to see where I was, probably. Making sure I was still coming home from my birthday dinner. Making sure her little performance would go off without a hitch. I didn't answer. Just stared at her name until it went to voicemail. I drove home on autopilot. Don't even remember the route I took. Just muscle memory guiding me through streets I'd driven 1,000 times. Pulled into the driveway at 6:06 p.m. The lights were on through the kitchen window. I could see Natalie setting the table. Our wedding china. The good stuff we only used for special occasions. Bella was laughing at something, phone in her hand, probably texting her friends about how lame family dinner was going to be. My family. My wife and daughter, getting ready to sing happy birthday to the man they'd already replaced. I sat in my car for 20 minutes. Engine off. Keys in my lap. Just watching them through the glass like some kind of stalker watching strangers. Natalie called Bella over to help with something. They moved around the kitchen together, easy and familiar. Synchronized. They looked happy. Content. They looked like they were waiting for someone. Just not me. Natalie checked her phone, probably wondering where I was. Probably getting ready to text and ask if I'd forgotten about my own birthday dinner. The irony would have been funny if it wasn't gutting me. Bella set the table. 3 plates, 3 sets of silverware, 3 glasses. She even folded the napkins the fancy way Natalie had showed her last Thanksgiving. My 12-year-old daughter was putting effort into my birthday dinner, while wishing another man was her father. I should have gone inside. Should have confronted them right then. Thrown the phone on the table and demanded answers. Made them watch what I'd watched. Made them explain. But I didn't. Because I knew what would happen. Natalie would cry. Would say it was a mistake. Would promise it would never happen again. Would say she loved me. That she loved our family. That she'd do anything to fix this. And Bella would cry too. Would say she didn't mean it. That she was just confused. That she loved me. And maybe 6 months ago, I would have believed them. Would have wanted to believe them. Would have convinced myself that we could fix this. Go to counseling. Work through it. Save the marriage. Save the family. But I'd seen Bella's face in that video. The pure, unfiltered joy when she hugged him. The comfort. The familiarity. That wasn't confusion. That was a kid who'd found someone she connected with more than she connected with me. And Natalie? She'd looked happy in a way I hadn't seen in years. Real happiness. Not the manufactured smiles and polite affection of a marriage that had gone stale. She'd looked at him the way people look when they're exactly where they want to be. They'd made their choice. I just had to make mine. I pulled out my phone, searched Divorce Lawyer 24/7. It found a firm that advertised availability anytime, any day. The kind of lawyers who understand that marriages don't implode on a convenient 9-to-5 schedule. The line rang twice. I need a divorce lawyer, I said. Tonight. Can you be here in an hour? A woman's voice. Professional. Not surprised. Probably got calls like this every day. Yeah. Bring any documentation you have. Financial records, evidence of adultery if applicable, any... I have a video. Pause. Okay. Bring that too. And your marriage certificate if you have it. I hung up. Texted Natalie. Not feeling well. Heading to urgent care? Don't wait up. Her response came 30 seconds later. Oh no, want me to come with you? No, just something I ate. I'll be fine. Okay, feel better. We'll do dinner tomorrow. I sat there staring at her text. The casual concern. The easy lie she accepted. Or maybe she knew I was lying too. Maybe she was relieved. One more day before she had to play happy wife. One more day before she had to pretend. Gerald Walsh met me at his office at 11 p.m. Guy was in his 60s. Looked like he slept in a suit and had the kind of face that had seen every brand of human ugliness. When I walked in, he didn't offer condolences or ask if I was okay. He just pointed at a chair and said, "Show me what you've got." I handed him my phone. He watched the video twice. Didn't flinch. "This is recent?" he asked. "Today. Someone sent it anonymously. You know who he is?" "No idea." Gerald zoomed in on the man's face. "Screenshotted it. We'll find out. This is enough for a fault-based divorce. Adultery still grounds in this state. Makes things cleaner. Cleaner like we're talking about a construction project? I want everything," I said. "The house, the accounts. I want her to walk away with nothing. The daughter?" I didn't answer right away. Bella's face flashed in my head. The way she looked at him. the way she'd said those words. She's 12, Gerald said. Courts favor maternal custody at that age, but given the circumstances, parental alienation, exposing a child to an affair, we can argue for full custody. How long does this take? If she fights? 6 months to a year. If she's smart, she'll settle fast. I left his office at midnight with a retainer agreement and a plan. First step, find out who the hell this guy was. Took me less than 24 hours to find out who he was. His name was Jake Bennett, 39 years old. Owned a car dealership across town, Bennett Auto Sales. The kind of place with inflatable tube men dancing on the roof and weekend sales events with hot dogs and balloons. Real classy operation. His face was all over the website. Big smile, thumbs up. Jake Bennett wants to put you in your dream car. Nope. He just wanted to put himself in my wife. I found his Facebook profile. Public. Idiot didn't even have privacy settings. Saw photos from a high school reunion 6 months ago. Class of 2004. Natalie's class. There were 3 photos with both of them in it. Standing too close in one. Her hand on his arm in another. In the third, they were both laughing at something. Faces inches apart. That look people get when they're pretending they're just friends, but really want to tear each other's clothes off. 6 months. They'd been doing this for at least 6 months. I pulled up their yearbook online. Found them both. Jake Bennett, football team, voted most likely to peak in high school. Natalie Morrison back then, cheerleader, yearbook committee. They dated senior year. I remembered her mentioning him once, years ago. Her high school boyfriend. First love. Whatever. Ancient history, she'd said. Guess history has a way of repeating itself. I needed more than just a video and some Facebook photos. I needed everything. Bank records, phone logs, motel receipts, location data, anything that would bury her so deep in court that she'd be lucky to walk away with the clothes on her back. Started with our joint bank account. Logged in. Downloaded every statement from the last year. Natalie had been withdrawing cash every Friday. Started about 8 months ago. Small amounts at first. 100, 150. Then it increased. 200 here, 300 there. Always cash. Always on Fridays. 27 withdrawals total. Over $5,000 gone. I never noticed. Why would I? We had separate personal accounts for our own spending. The joint account was for bills, groceries, kid stuff. She'd been bleeding it dry, and I was too busy building bridges to notice someone was burning down my home. Then I pulled up our credit card statements. Found charges at a motel off Highway 9. The Sunrise Inn. Real romantic. The kind of place that rents rooms by the hour and doesn't ask questions. She'd been smart enough to put it on her personal card most of the time, but she'd used our joint card 3 times. Probably when she ran out of room on her own. Each charge was for $89. Their nightly rate, according to their website. I cross-referenced the dates with my work calendar. Every single one was a Friday when I'd worked late. When I'd texted her saying I'd grab dinner on the way home, don't wait up, she'd always responded with a little heart emoji. Okay, babe. Love you. Love you. While she was at a motel with her high school boyfriend. I went through her texts on our shared phone plan. Couldn't see the content, but I could see the numbers. There was one number she texted constantly. Started 8 months ago. Multiple times a day. Sometimes 50, 60 texts in a single day. Late at night. Early in the morning. During her lunch break at work. I reverse searched the number. Jake Bennett's personal cell. But the worst part wasn't the motel receipts or the cash withdrawals, or even the constant texting. The worst part was what I found when I went through our family calendar app. The one we used to keep track of Bella's activities, our work schedules, everything. Every Saturday for the last 3 months, Natalie had blocked off Mom's house, helping with yard work. I'd thought it was sweet. Natalie taking Bella to spend time with her grandmother, helping out, teaching Bella about family responsibility. Except I'd pulled up the location history from Natalie's phone. We'd set up Find My Phone years ago for safety, in case someone got lost or had an emergency. The data backed up to the cloud automatically. I downloaded 3 months of location data, cross-referenced it with the calendar. Every single Saturday that said Mom's house, Natalie's phone pinged at 847 Riverside Drive. Jake Bennett's address. According to public records, he'd owned the place for 6 years. 3-bedroom ranch. Nice neighborhood. Good schools. They'd been there for hours. Sometimes 6, 7 hours on a Saturday. Arriving around 10 in the morning. Leaving around 5 in the evening. Like a normal family spending a normal day together. I pulled up photos from Natalie's Instagram. She'd been posting plenty of pictures of Bella over the last few months. Bella eating ice cream. Bella playing in a yard. Bella throwing a football. Bella laughing at something off camera. I zoomed in on the backgrounds. That wasn't our yard. That wasn't our fence. That wasn't our patio furniture. That was Jake's house. Natalie had been posting pictures of our daughter at her affair partner's house, right there on social media, and nobody had noticed. Not her friends, not her family, not me. I downloaded everything, every statement, every receipt, every location ping, every photo, organized it by date, built a timeline, printed it all out and put it in a folder. 500 pages of evidence that my wife had been living a double life for 6 months. And the most damning part? Our text conversation from the cloud backup. I'd forgotten we had it set to backup automatically. I found a conversation from 3 weeks ago, late at night, after I'd gone to bed. Natalie, I can't keep doing this forever. It's getting harder to lie. Jake, so don't lie. Leave him. Natalie, it's not that simple. The house is in both our names. The accounts are joint. I need to make sure I'm protected. Jake, I'll take care of you. You and Bella both. She already loves it here. Natalie, I know. She keeps asking when we can stay over. Jake, so let her. Tell him you're going to your mom's for the weekend. Natalie, maybe next month. I need to talk to a lawyer first. Figure out what I'm entitled to. Jake, you're entitled to be happy. We both know he doesn't appreciate you. Natalie, he doesn't even notice when I'm gone. That one hit different, because she wasn't entirely wrong. I hadn't noticed. I'd been so focused on work, on providing, on making sure we had everything we needed, that I'd stopped checking if we actually had each other. But that didn't give her the right to betray me. Didn't give her the right to include my daughter in her affair. Didn't give her the right to plan her exit strategy while still sleeping in my bed and spending my money. I added the text thread to the folder. Friday afternoon, while Natalie was at work and Bella was at school, I had the locks changed. Called a locksmith who didn't ask questions. Paid him cash for same-day service. Then I went to the bank. Froze our joint accounts. Not illegal. My name was on them too. Gerald filed the divorce papers that afternoon. I had them served at Natalie's school. Hand-delivered by a process server during her lunch break. Maximum humiliation. Then I printed a copy and taped it to the front door. I didn't go inside. I'd taken what I needed earlier. Clothes, documents, my laptop. Everything else could burn for all I cared. I drove to the extended stay hotel I'd booked that morning and sat in the parking lot. My phone stayed silent for 20 minutes. Then it rang. Natalie's number. I didn't answer. 3 more calls, 2 voicemails. A string of texts started with "what the hell" and ended with "answer me." I turned my phone off, walked up to my room, sat on the bed, and just breathed for the first time in 3 days. At 7:30, I drove back to the house, parked across the street where I could see the front door. Natalie's car pulled into the driveway at 7:52. Bella was in the passenger seat. Natalie got out, walked to the door, tried her key. It didn't work. She tried again. Then she saw the papers taped to the door. She ripped them down, read the first page. Her face went white. Bella got out of the car, asked something I couldn't hear. Natalie turned, screamed something at her. Bella backed away. Natalie pulled out her phone, started dialing, pressed it to her ear. I watched my phone light up on the passenger seat, her name flashing on the screen. I didn't answer. She found me Sunday morning. I'd been at the extended stay for 2 days, ignoring 47 calls and God knows how many texts. Gerald told me not to engage, let her panic, let her realize how badly she'd screwed up, but Natalie was persistent. The knock came at 9 a.m., 3 sharp raps that said she wasn't asking permission. I opened the door. Natalie stood there with Bella slightly behind her, both of them looking like they'd had a rough weekend. Good. We need to talk, Natalie said. No, we don't. I started to close the door. Dad, please, Bella spoke up. I stopped, looked at my daughter. She wouldn't meet my eyes. 5 minutes, I said. They came in. Natalie sat on the edge of the bed. Bella stood by the door, arms crossed. Everything about her body language screamed she didn't want to be there. This is insane, Natalie started. You can't just lock us out of our house. My house. I'm on the deed. We need to talk about this like adults. Adults don't sleep with their high school boyfriends in the family bed. Bella flinched. Natalie's mouth opened, closed. It's not what you think, Natalie said, and I almost laughed. Jake and I were just friends. We reconnected at the reunion and... Stop! I pulled out my phone. Opened the video. Hit play. Natalie's face drained of color as she heard her own voice. Saw herself in our bed. I have this, I said. I have the texts. 6 months of hotel receipts. Bank statements showing you bleeding our accounts dry for your little getaway weekends. I know about the 11 times you took Bella to his house when you told me you were at your mother's. Natalie looked like she might throw up. You broke into my phone? Didn't have to. You used our joint account to pay for the motels. She stood up. Tried a different angle. Desperation. You're hurting Bella. She needs her father. She needs. Tell me what you said in the video, I said to Bella. Bella looked at the floor. Look at me and tell me you didn't say you wished Jake was your dad. She finally met my eyes. And I saw it. Not shame. Not regret. Defiance. I meant it, she said. He's nicer than you. He actually listens to me. He doesn't just work all the time and ignore us. There it was. The script Natalie had fed her. Poor neglected Bella stuck with a father who provided everything but wasn't present enough. Never mind that every weekend I asked to do something with her, she had plans. Never mind that every dinner I tried to have, she was on her phone. Okay, I said quietly. Natalie sensed an opening. We can fix this. We can go to counseling. Bella didn't mean... I pulled up another file on my phone. An audio recording. Hit play. Natalie's voice came through the speaker. I can't keep doing this forever. Bella deserves a real family. She deserves a father who actually wants to be around. Jake's voice? So leave him. Move in with me. We'll figure out the custody thing. Natalie, I'm trying. I just need time to set everything up right. I don't want to lose the house. The recording stopped. Natalie stared at me like I'd pulled a gun. That's from 3 weeks ago, I said. You pocket-dialed me from Jake's house. 22-minute conversation about how you were planning your exit strategy while making sure you could take me for everything. Bella's defiance cracked just a little. You were using me for financial security while training my daughter to replace me, I said. So here's what happens now. You want Jake? He's yours. You want out? You're out. But you don't get to rewrite history and make me the villain. I opened my laptop, showed Natalie the email I'd sent that morning. To Principal Angela Burton, Jefferson Elementary School. Subject, violation of morality clause attached was the video. The hotel receipts. Everything. Your contract has a morality clause, I said. Conduct unbecoming of an educator, especially conduct involving the exposure of a minor to an extramarital affair. Natalie grabbed for the laptop. I pulled it back. I also sent it to your parents. Her face went white. Her parents were old school. The kind of people who still went to church twice a week and believed in public shame as divine justice. And I posted a very factual, very measured account on Facebook. No names. Just facts. Timeline. Evidence. For when you inevitably try to play the victim to our friends. Natalie's phone started ringing, then buzzing, then didn't stop. Her mother's name flashed on the screen. Bella started crying. I stood up, opened the door. You wanted him? I said. Now he's all you have. Natalie tried to speak, but her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Texts pouring in. Calls from numbers she recognized. She grabbed Bella's hand and walked out. I closed the door, sat down on the bed, and for the first time in 3 days, I felt like I could breathe. The school board meeting happened on a Wednesday. I know because Gerald got a call from Natalie's lawyer that afternoon, screaming about harassment and defamation. Gerald put him on speaker so I could hear. Your client sent explicit material to a school administrator. My client sent evidence of an educator violating her employment contract, Gerald said calmly. If your client wants to argue she didn't violate the morality clause, we can do that in court. With the video. The lawyer hung up. Natalie was placed on administrative leave that day. By Friday, the leave became permanent. The district didn't want the liability. A teacher who exposed her 12-year-old daughter to an extramarital affair? Didn't matter that Bella was her own kid. The optics were poison. Natalie lost her job. Her parents were worse. Her mother showed up at my extended stay on Thursday, 73 years old, drove 40 minutes to tell me in person that she'd raised Natalie better than this, that she was ashamed, that Natalie was no longer welcome at Sunday dinners until she got right with God. I didn't ask her to do that. I just sent them the evidence. They made their own choice. Natalie tried calling her father. He wouldn't answer. And Jake? Jake disappeared like smoke. I didn't hire anyone to track him. Didn't need to. One of the guys from my job site mentioned seeing Natalie at Jake's dealership on Saturday, crying in the parking lot. Jake walked her to her car, hands up like he was calming a crazy person. 30 seconds of conversation. Then he went back inside. He stopped answering her calls after that. Turns out Jake didn't sign up for a broke, unemployed single mother with baggage. He signed up for the fantasy, the sneaking around, the hotel rooms. When it got real, when it got complicated, he was out. Natalie hired a lawyer with money she didn't have, probably borrowed it from somewhere, filed for spousal support, claimed Natalie deserved half of everything because she'd sacrificed her career to raise our daughter. Except Natalie had worked the entire marriage, and she hadn't sacrificed anything. She'd just gotten fired for screwing around. The court date was set for mid-November, 2 months away. Meanwhile, I did what I always do when things break. I worked, threw myself into a bridge project in the next county, stayed late, took weekend shifts. My boss noticed, promoted me to senior project manager with a 15% raise. I joined a gym, started running again, reconnected with friends I'd lost track of, guys from college who'd stopped coming around because Natalie didn't like them. Turns out they were still around, still good people, still willing to grab dinner and not ask too many questions. I was rebuilding. Natalie was falling apart. Our mutual friends tried to play neutral at first, asked me for my side of the story. I sent them the evidence. Most of them stopped talking to Natalie after that. A few tried to defend her, said people make mistakes, said I was being cruel. I blocked them. Then the mediation happened. Gerald, me, Natalie's lawyer, and Natalie in a conference room that smelled like stale coffee and broken promises. Natalie looked rough, hair pulled back, no makeup, the kind of tired that settles in your bones. Her lawyer laid out the offer. Natalie wanted alimony, wanted to keep the house, wanted joint custody of Bella. Gerald laughed. Your client committed adultery, exposed the child to her affair partner, lost her job due to moral turpitude, and alienated the child from her father. She's not getting the house. She's not getting alimony. We're offering her 10% of the liquid assets, and she should thank God for that. Natalie's lawyer tried to argue. Gerald put the video file on the table. Do you want the judge to watch this? Because I promise you he will. And when he does, your client won't get 10%. She'll get nothing. The room went quiet. Natalie started crying. Quietly at first, then harder. I didn't feel sorry for her. The lawyer stepped out to confer. Came back with a counteroffer. I keep the house. I keep the retirement accounts. I keep the cars. Natalie gets a small settlement. Enough to rent an apartment. Get back on her feet. Minimal alimony, only for 2 years. And custody. Split custody. Standard arrangement. Gerald said it was a win. That we'd crushed her. That I could walk away clean. But then Natalie's lawyer said something that made my blood run cold. The court will consider Bella's preference. She's 12. Old enough that the judge will ask her who she wants to live with. Gerald looked at me. I looked at the settlement papers. Natalie wiped her eyes, watching me. What about Bella? I asked. She's 12, Gerald said carefully. The court will interview her. Ask her where she feels safe. Who she wants as her primary guardian. I already knew the answer. Bella had made her choice months ago. She'd been making it every time she went to Jake's house. Every time she called him Uncle Jake. Every time she looked at me like I was the problem. I stared at the settlement papers. Natalie's lawyer cleared his throat. You can go to trial, or you can sign. Gerald leaned close. This is the best deal we're going to get. Take it. I picked up the pen. I need to add something, I said. Gerald looked up. What? I want to waive custody. The room went silent. You want to what? Natalie's lawyer said. I waive all custody rights. Natalie gets full custody of Bella. I'll pay child support as required by law. But I want 0 visitation. No weekends, no holidays, nothing. Gerald grabbed my arm. We need a moment. We stepped into the hallway. He closed the door behind us. What the hell are you doing? He said. Exactly what I said. You're giving up your daughter. She's not my daughter anymore. Gerald stared at me like I'd lost my mind. She's 12. Kids say stupid things. You can't just... She made her choice, I said. I watched her make it. I'm not going to spend the next 6 years forcing a relationship with someone who doesn't want me in their life. I'm not going to show up every other weekend and watch her count down the hours until she can leave. I'm done. The court's going to ask why. Then I'll tell them. I'll tell them my daughter participated in her mother's affair, that she was groomed to prefer another man, that she told him she wished he was her father, and that I'm not interested in shared custody with a child who's been taught to hate me. Gerald rubbed his face. This is permanent. You understand that? You can't change your mind in a year when she grows up. Good. We went back inside. I added the modification in writing, signed it, slid it across the table. Natalie's lawyer read it, looked at Natalie. She was staring at me like she didn't recognize me. You're walking away from Bella? She asked. You want me gone? Now I'm gone, all the way. She's your daughter. She wished Jake was her father. So let him be. Oh, wait. He already bailed on you, didn't he? Natalie's face crumbled. Her lawyer put a hand on her arm. My client accepts the terms. We signed. Gerald witnessed. It was done. I walked out of that conference room $50,000 poorer and completely free. 2 years later, I got an email. I was living in a different city by then. Took a job 4 hours away. Fresh start. New office. I'd been promoted twice. Made senior engineer on a municipal infrastructure project that would have my name on a plaque when it was finished. I was seeing someone. Nothing serious. We'd been on 4 dates, and she didn't ask about my past because I didn't offer it. The email came on a Tuesday. Subject: Dad, please read this. From Bella. School email address. I stared at it for a full minute. Then I deleted it without opening it. 3 days later, another email. Then another. I set up a filter. Anything from her address went straight to trash. Then Natalie tried. A message on Facebook. I'd locked down my profile years ago, but she found a way through mutual friends. Jake left. He's engaged to someone else. Bella's been struggling. Acting out at school. She needs her father. Please, just talk to her. I read it twice. Then I blocked Natalie's account. She tried Instagram. Blocked. She tried texting from a new number. Blocked. She sent a message through my mother. I told my mother if she wanted to stay in my life, she needed to stop playing Messenger. I didn't feel guilty. I felt relief. I'd rebuilt my life without them. New city. New career trajectory. New routines. I went to the gym 5 days a week. Had a small circle of friends who knew me as the guy who worked hard and didn't talk about his ex-wife. I had hobbies. Started woodworking. Took a welding class. Learned to cook something other than pasta. Every year on my birthday, I took myself out to dinner somewhere nice. Ordered exactly what I wanted. Raised a glass of juice to the life I'd built. No bitterness. No revenge fantasies. Just peace. But last month, Gerald called. You got a letter, he said. Came to my office. From Bella. Throw it away. It's marked urgent. She sent it through legal channels. I have to pass it to you. Then mail it to me. I'll throw it away myself. It arrived 3 days later. Thick envelope. Bella's handwriting on the front. I didn't open it right away. Left it on my kitchen counter for a week. My girlfriend, casual, 5 months in, starting to feel like maybe something real, asked about it. Old mail, I said. But she saw the return address. Saw Gerald's law firm. Is that from your daughter? She asked. I'd told her the basics. Divorce, ex-wife cheated, daughter chose her mother. Didn't go into details. Didn't need to. Yeah, I said. Are you going to read it? I picked up the envelope. Held it. Bella would be 14 now. Freshman in high school. Old enough to understand consequences. Old enough to realize that actions have weight. Old enough to know what she'd done. What will you do? My girlfriend asked. I looked at her. Then at the letter. I already did. I threw the letter away that night. Didn't open it. Didn't read past the return address. Just walked it straight to the trash can outside and dropped it in with the rest of the garbage. My girlfriend watched from the kitchen window. When I came back inside, she didn't ask questions. Just poured 2 glasses of iced tea and we moved on with our evening. That's the thing about starting over. You get to decide what stays in your life and what doesn't. You get to choose which bridges you rebuild and which ones you let burn down to the foundation. I chose to let it burn. I'm 40 now. 2 years since that letter. Bella's 16, I guess. I don't keep track. I run a team of 11 engineers. We just finished a highway interchange that cut commute times by 20 minutes for 30,000 people. My boss wants me to take over the northern region next year. I'll probably say yes. I bought a house last year. Nothing huge, but it's mine. 3 bedrooms because why not? Office, guest room, and a workshop in the garage where I build furniture on weekends. Sold a dining table last month for $1,200. Guy said it was the best craftsmanship he'd seen. The girlfriend from 2 years ago? We're engaged now. Getting married next spring. Her name's Rachel. She's a physical therapist. And she's never asked me to explain myself or justify my choices. She knows the story. She knows I have a daughter somewhere who I don't talk to. She's never pushed. That's how I know she's different. I still hear things. Small-town networks run deep even when you move away. A mutual friend mentioned Natalie's working as a substitute teacher now. Different district. Lower pay. Still struggling. Bella's apparently doing okay. Not great. My mother, who I talk to maybe once every 2 months, let it slip that Bella's been having problems at school. Anger issues, trust issues. Standard stuff for a kid whose world imploded because her mother couldn't keep her legs closed. I didn't ask for details. Jake married the woman he left Natalie for. They live 2 towns over. Have a kid on the way. From what I heard, he and Natalie don't speak. Probably doesn't even remember Bella exists. Funny how that works. People ask me sometimes if I regret walking away from my daughter, burning it all down instead of trying to salvage something. I don't. Bella was old enough to know what she was saying when she told Jake she wished he was her dad. Old enough to understand she was choosing sides. Old enough to participate in her mother's betrayal and think it was fine. I gave her exactly what she wanted, a life without me in it. Guys, we are so close to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps hit that 100,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come true.